Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Usman and you are watching Astrological Guidance. In today's video, we will discuss about what is fifth house, what fifth house represent in your birth chart, in astrological Vedic birth chart. First of all, fifth house represent your children's. Children's is seen from fifth house. Secondly, your love relationship. Love relationship means the emotional one, means in which your emotions are involved. Is seen from fifth house. Means real loved ones is seen from fifth house, like your girlfriend, boyfriend, your fiance, and your loved ones is also seen from fifth house. Your mental abilities, how smart you are, how genius you are, how much good abilities God give you related to your intelligence, related to your mind, related to your learning abilities seen from fifth house. Fifth house also deal with your early education. Early education means till graduation life. Graduation is seen from fifth house. Fifth house also represent your positions in life, means how far you can go in your position, like how much higher post you will get in your life related to your work, means how much authority you will have. It's seen from 10th house, but fifth house plays the major role in your position. In politicians birth chart, fifth house plays a very important role, because fifth house is that's, as we discussed previously, fifth house represent positions in your life. Like first house, fifth house, and ninth house represent your wisdom, your intelligence, your education, and your knowledge. So fifth house is deal with also your positions and your education till graduation. Life is seen from fifth house. Now let's discuss about how can you interpret your fifth house in your birth chart. Like if you see your birth chart, regardless of any ascendant, fifth house has a certain sign in it, like Scorpio, Virgo, Libra, Cancer. So let's suppose your fifth house is occupied by the Libra sign. Now the lord of the Libra sign is Venus, means your Gemini ascendant. If you consider the Libra sign comes into your fifth house, then you are the Gemini ascendant. So when you're interpreting your fifth house, you need to see the placement of your fifth house lord, where your fifth house lord is placed in your birth chart. Either it is a placed in a positive house like 11th house, 10th house, first house, second house, then we can consider you will get a lot of ease regarding all of these matters in your life, which we have just discussed, like in your love relationship, in your education, regarding your upbringing of your children. Now let's take a scenario. Let's suppose if your fifth house is controlled by Venus, means your fifth house is occupied by the Libra sign, and now your Venus is placed in your 11th house in a positive house. So from 11th house deal with your gains, your hopes and wishes, and fulfillment of hopes and wishes, means 11th house considered as positive house in regards to your gains and fulfillment of hopes and wishes. From 11th house, Venus is also aspecting its own house, means your fifth house is in a strong position in your birth chart, and fifth house also aspecting its own house. It's mean you will have very easy ways in your life to get all the fifth house related significances which we have just discussed, like your education, like your upbringing of your children, getting children, also your love relationship, also your girlfriend boyfriend related matters. Let's suppose if your fifth house lord is placed in a naturally malefic house in your birth chart, and naturally malefic house are 6th, 8th, and 12th house, as we discussed previously in our transit videos many times. So it doesn't mean you will have no intelligence, you will have no education, you will have no love relationship. It means you will have all of these things, you will have children, but you will face many difficulties during the process of these significances related to fifth house, if your fifth house lord is placed in a naturally malefic house like 6th house, 8th house, and 12th house. Third important thing to interpret your fifth house is that you need to also see which planet aspecting your fifth house in your birth chart. Like if a naturally malefic planet is aspecting your fifth house, or a positive planet aspecting your fifth house. And naturally malefic planets are Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, and Mars. And naturally benefic planets are Jupiter, Moon, Venus. Sun considered as mild malefic because sun represent ego, and naturally if we talk about natural zodiac belt, fifth house is occupied by Leo sign. So lord of the Leo sign is sun, That's why the always sun is the significator of your fifth house and your 10th house along with Jupiter. So let's suppose some naturally malefic planets is aspecting your fifth house from naturally malefic house. Like for example, Rahu is aspecting your fifth house from its ninth aspect. So it means your fifth house is receiving the naturally malefic planet aspect on it in your birth chart. And the Lord of your fifth house is placed in a strong position. So you will get your education, you will get your love relationship, you will have children, you will have your mental abilities with you, but you will face many difficulties to acquire all of these things. You will have to face many struggle, you will have to do many struggle due to presence of aspects of naturally malefic planet on your fifth house. Now, if naturally benefic planet is aspecting your fifth house, then the situation will change. Then you will get a lot of easy ways to acquire all of these things which we have just discussed, like in your education, like upbringing of your children, getting your children, and your love relationships. In all of these things, we can expect you will get a good result due to aspects of benefic planet like Jupiter, Venus, Moon, etc., etc., from a positive house. So these are the basics and main steps to interpret your fifth house in your birth chart. So our today's video ends here. I hope you will like this video and this video will prove helpful for you. And if you find this video helpful, then please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. See you in next video. Till that, Allah Hafiz. Take care.